Gareth, it's been a couple of months since we announced you as an Osprey, but this is the first time we've had a chance to sit down and catch up with you and welcome you formally to the Ospreys. How are you doing? Are you looking forward to being an Osprey?
Yeah, cheers. Yeah, I am. Obviously, it's been a few months now since I made my decision, but I'm pretty excited about joining the team whenever that is. Obviously, there's a few big rugby months coming ahead, but yeah, look, I'm excited for a new challenge and something a bit different. So I'll be good, and looking forward to joining up with the boys. Whenever that is.
Obviously, your last game at the Blues after we announced was against the Ospreys at the Principality Stadium. Big game that you're heavily involved in, scored a lot of points. I'd imagine the banter within the group that week and now within the Wales camp still quite heavy about you, Ospreys or Blue.
Yeah, I think there was obviously quite a bit of chat leading up to the game about where my loyalties were, but look, I guess at the time I certainly wanted to beat the Ospreys, that's for sure. So I suppose it's quite funny the way it worked out. Obviously missed a pretty important kick that was pretty frustrating for myself, but yeah, look, I guess everyone's kind of moved on from that now, and there's obviously a huge contingent of Ospreys boys in the Welsh squad, so that was appealing to me. But it's nice to be part of them now, and look, I enjoyed my time at the Blues, but I'm looking forward to a new challenge in an Ospreys jersey.
Looking at the Ospreys setup, there are people you know well, and obviously there's a coach, Matt Sherratt, that you've worked with closely. I suppose you're looking forward to getting involved with him again once you rock up to Llandarcy.
Yeah, look, I think that's something that sort of drew me to the place as well. I think it's important that I, from an individual point of view, I want to keep growing my game, and I feel making this change will probably help suit me, particularly maybe playing with a chance to play fly half, which is where I want to spend most of my rugby. And yeah, look, I've enjoyed my time working with Jockey before, and he's a bit of a character, and yeah, I'm looking forward to I guess reconnecting that relationship, and we'll see how it goes. But there's a good group of boys there, and I've got a few mates around the place now, and for me and them during my time with the Welsh environment. So I think the group's in a pretty good position, and hopefully we can push ahead in the season ahead.
Has there been any messages or instructions from Clarkey and Jockey of what they want to see from you when you've got the number 10 shirt on with the Ospreys?
No, look, I don't think we've got that far ahead. I've only had brief chats with Clarkey and Jockey, really. So, look, I'm pretty impressed with what they're trying to do with that group, and I think they've had a bit of rebuilding years, and I think hopefully that squad's coming out the other side now. I think with a couple of maybe acquisitions along the way, I think it's going to be a pretty strong group of players, and one that can really push ahead and compete, at the Pro 14 level. So we've obviously got a tough European group coming up, but I think that's why you want to play in the Heineken Cup. You want to play in those top games, and I think that's something that group will enjoy, and I'm looking forward to being part of those games.
You mentioned that tough pool. You got Munster, Racing Metro, Saracens in it. Their reputation and their record in Europe speaks for itself. But I suppose it was one thing that Alan Clark said when the draw was made: none of those teams would have wanted us as the fourth seeded team in the group either. Yeah,
look, I think depending on how the draw comes out, look, it's obviously going to be a very challenging group, and I'm sure the group will be aware of that. But it only takes one or two performances, particularly at home, and the group changes pretty quickly. So whether teams overlook us, who knows? But I think by the time we get to those games, we'll be firing, and I guess I think we can really compete with those teams. So particularly when we get our best side out. So it's one thing I'm really excited about. And as Clarkey mentions, I think we can be quietly confident about trying to kick up a bit of a stir in that group, and I guess we'll see how we go.
And it's going to be a while before we get to see you at the Liberty Stadium. As we've got the small matter of the World Cup coming up and some big games to come. How's preparation for you personally going for that? How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's obviously an exciting few months, and I guess one that everyone's sort of been talking about now for a wee while. And yeah, look, the group, the boys are training really well, training pretty hard as we tend to do under Gats, and we've only got one more day of training now, and then we head off to Switzerland on Tuesday for 2 weeks, and I suppose that's where we'll really try and pick up the rugby side of things. I suppose the first few weeks have been a bit more condition focused, and it's been nice from a personal point of view, just getting 5 or 6 weeks to spend time just getting your body right, because when you start playing at international level, it's tough to sort of get any time just to look after your body, and the calendar's getting bigger and bigger, and you're playing in more and more games. So it's nice to use this time just to spend a bit of time in the gym and getting some running into the leagues as well. So although it's testing, hopefully it benefits the group in a couple of months to come.
Gareth, good luck at the World Cup. Come back with a winner's medal, and we look forward to seeing you in November then at the Liberty Stadium.
Cheers, I look forward to it.